Hey guys, welcome back to the Lucy Show. Hope you guys are all doing well. Oh my god, I had so much fun yesterday. I just want to share with you guys how happy I am that I got to see Blackpink. Literally love these girls, and it's just, I felt like the whole entire thing was so unreal. When you watch somebody, I guess, on screen so many times, like the way I've watched their dance tutorials, their dance videos, and like their music videos just countless times. And like, well, I wasn't like, my seat wasn't super close to them, so when I looked at them, like obviously you see them on the screen and then like you can see them on the actual stage like dancing. They look like tiny little people. It still feels so surreal to like be in the same like space that I was at to see Blackpink yesterday. So still so surreal. I was having this conversation with my friend yesterday about it, and she brought up an interesting topic that I guess I want to talk about today about how I guess Korean stars, like a lot of Korean K-pop, or if you're like a K-pop drama star, they just have very different rules, I guess, or the way that they go about their business and their everyday lives, personal lives, how they run their Instagram accounts or whatever is very different from like the Western society. So, for example, Korean artists, you don't really just hear people being like, okay, I'm not feeling well, or due to health reasons, like they have to be probably really sick. Like, I've never really heard of a K-pop star being like, oh, I just don't really feel it today, or whatever. I'm going to drop an album whenever I feel like it. Like a lot of the West stars do. And like this current situation we see of like between Ye and Adidas, like that's just stuff that's unheard of, like I guess in Asia, specifically in Korea. So I guess it's pretty, yeah, definitely culture wise and just maybe the different rules. I think it's probably more geared towards like the different contracts that probably bind these Korean stars to their management teams and whatnot. That's why we don't hear about this. But there's definitely, at least I feel the sense, and a lot of my friends feel the sense of control within like the Korean society and their artists versus like the Western society. Like, yes, like for example, for Taylor Swift, she also talked about how like she didn't like her previous the management team that was dealing with her for years when she was younger, and then obviously her own, now she like deals with her own like label, and she's able to, you know, produce songs and release songs that were like hidden in the vault and all that. So definitely a whole different world for I think the Koreans versus, you know, just Hollywood stars and American singers. Like yesterday when we were watching the Blackpink concert, Rose, which is one of the it's a four girl group, Korean girl group, but they sing like English songs. It was a lot of Asians. My friend's like, this is like the most Asians I've ever seen in one crowd. And I'm like, I've been to other Asian shows. So I'm like, this isn't that many Asians. There were still other people that were like more multicultural, but yeah, there were a lot of Asians yesterday. So like Rose, one of the members yesterday was saying how like she wasn't feeling that good, like definitely talking about like health wise, but she obviously still showed up and did the show. But me and my friend were like, wonder if like if she didn't feel good, is she even able to say no? Really, like what? How does the contracts really look? That's the real question, because obviously it depends on how your contract looks. Like, are you capable of just saying like no if you don't want to work that day? Like, are celebrities in Korea, do they have that much freedom? Like obviously in the West a lot do, but again, I don't know every single contract with every single American female or male celebrity, so maybe they do have some harsh contracts too that doesn't allow them to just be like, okay, f all of the people, all the fans, and I'm just not going to show up today because I'm feeling like a little under the weather. I think that's also due to personality too. Like how hard do you want to work for it, and please your fans versus, you know, not show up after getting everybody excited, giving money back, which is obviously going to be very costly to management. So those are things that kind of popped up, but definitely you can see that there's a huge difference. Like for example, Rihanna just recently came out with her new song, and this is for like the Wakanda movie, which is like following Black Panther. But she hasn't made music in so long. Obviously, she's had her focus on like, you know, Fenty beauty line and like the lingerie line and everything. And obviously she became like a billionaire, but she hasn't made music. And a lot of her fans have been waiting for like new music from her. But this is the type of freedom that I think in America people have, which is awesome. I think that like you really can just do whatever, not necessarily say whatever, you know, obviously seeing what's happening with Kanye West, but there's definitely so much more freedom. Like watching Blackpink, I love them and stuff, but I could like even sense like from watching all their interviews and even like watching them on stage last night, I could tell when they like just speak on their own. Like it's natural. I like they're sweet girls, but at the same time, I can also tell like this is clearly they were trained very well to like be very careful what to say, how their movements are, and not to like basically do F all and just not care of the consequences like a lot of other mostly Americans are able to do. Hi there, Shayla. Rock on. Thank you, William, for being first. By the way, guys, for those of you that are new to my channel, over here we talk about anything under the sun, including experiences, TV shows, Netflix, all that good stuff. So definitely here is where you can talk about anything you want, not just stocks and crypto, even though, yeah, stocks and crypto is mainly what I talk about on the main channel. So something else I wanted to bring up today is I was having a really funny experience in the subway earlier. I love the subway because you just see so many different characters. There's always like some person that looks like they're out of their minds. Sometimes screaming babies, sometimes screaming couples. Other times it's just pure silence. And today was one of those days where it was just like pure silence. I didn't hear like really anybody talking to each other. Everyone was like in their own world, either listening to their headphones or playing on their phones. Not even like many people who came together on the subway were like talking to each other. And I was just like thinking to myself, man, I wish we could all just get along and talk to each other and, you know, have a good conversation without worrying like, who is this creep? Or if this person could be possibly a Jeffrey Dahmer character or whatnot. So I was just like thinking that randomly in my head as I was on the subway. And what do you know? 2-3 stops later, I'm like standing up in front of like 2 seats, and then there's like 3 seats far, like literally like pretty far from me, I would say. Like I'm not standing in front of the 3 seats, which are completely empty. Clearly, I'm just like standing and I'm not occupying any of the seats. And I had someone with me that was like standing, like sitting right in front of me on the 2-row seats. So the 3-row seat was empty. Some person walks in and asks me if I am occupying those 3 seats. And I'm like, no, I'm standing right here. You can go and sit down. And then they asked me, did you know that Blackpink is here for the weekend? And right away I was like, oh my God, stalker. I'm like, I hope that they, in my mind, I didn't say that out loud, but I was like, oh my God, I hope this person's not going to kill me. The fact that they know where I was. They didn't say like, I know you were at Blackpink yesterday, but they were just like, did you know Blackpink's here for the weekend? And I'm just like, yes, I know. I went there. And then they like started to like talk to me, but they were, I could like sense it was such a awkward conversation because, well, one, we didn't know each other, which is fine. That's what I was picturing in my head before this person showed up. Like, maybe we should all just get along and have conversations. But I think, honestly, I still agree with that. Like, I think it's fine to have conversations. Like, if any of you guys see me on the subway, if you don't tell me you watch me on YouTube, I think we could definitely have a chat. If you tell me, I don't know if that would make it less weird or more weird, but I would definitely have conversations with people. I love talking to strangers. I think like what made this conversation so awkward is because like I could sense the the lack of confidence, or just like, yeah, just like when this person was talking, they were saying things, but then also like their words sounded like a question half the time, and they were going back and forth on what they were saying. So it just made me think like they're trying to have a conversation, but they were feeling very not so confident in the conversation that made me feel very awkward. So I guess I wanted to share this with you guys. So in case anybody out there decides to talk to a complete stranger, completely fine if the person looks friendly, like myself, and you think they're not gonna, cuss you out or whatever, definitely have a conversation. But you do have to bring in the confidence. Like, whatever you plan on saying, say it, enunciate, um, and don't be too shy. Because I think like when you are showing that you are not very confident in the conversation, it makes the other person feel awkward and it just makes the whole entire conversation awkward. But yeah, I pretty much was just nodding my head the whole time and still responding. I still responded to like every question slash maybe it was a comment that this person said in regards to, I think they were talking about Blackpink, but then they went off and talked about other things. And I just really like wasn't keeping up, but I didn't want to be rude and like, you know, cut them off or stop talking to them or anything like that. But it was funny. It was an interesting, strange experience. Now back to Blackpink. I had an amazing time. I felt like a little bit rushed though because well, my friend was driving us there and we wanted to go like eat somewhere good before showing up, but we were running a bit late, so everything had to be like really, really quick. When I got there, parking was crazy expensive. This is the first time I've ever been told, or my friend was told. Like we found like the closest parking to the spot where the concert was held, and this is the first time that I've ever seen cars being charged like $40 just to back up. Like literally, the people that were in charge of the parking space filled up all of the regular pavement parking spaces, and then they made my friend back up over a sidewalk onto the grass for $40. And then I was just like, okay, I hope that this is fully legal and that when we come back our car is not going to be towed or anything like that by the cops. So luckily it all worked out. It was definitely crazy, crazy packed. The whole arena was absolutely beautiful, filled with blinks, which is what you call Blackpink fans. And they had these cute little like heart shakers that were like baby pink and like hot pink colors that you could buy. The shaker thing I kind of wanted, but then I asked the girl that was behind me before I like went into the concert. I'm like, how much is that? And then they're like $80, and I'm like, cannot afford. I mean, I wanted to, but then I'm like, I would rather buy probably at Disneyland another like shawarma place souvenir. Like I got the Thor hammer one, which I absolutely love because it lights up and I can put stuff in it. But that little like blink shaker thing, it's just a light shaker. I mean, I can shake it in the light, but it doesn't really help me hold anything. And I don't really have space to put more of these little cute little things. So I didn't end up getting that, but I did buy merch from them. It was so packed that literally 20 minutes before the show started, there were lineups to the merch store. And I seriously question sometimes why people line up in like crazy long lineups where they like, if you just do the math, there is no way some people were able to get in. Like there was like a line that was like 2 miles long. And I'm like, how are you going to get into the front, into the merch store when you're all the way at the back of the lineup? Like the last 50 people, there is no way in heck you would have gotten into the merch store. So I was really glad that even though I didn't get to go to the merch store like in the beginning of the show, my friend and I was able to get food and drinks before the show. And then when Blackpink was pretty much done, and then like they had their encore, which I was really happy about. Like I feel like all artists do this now. It's like kind of getting a little bit old. They should just like continue to do more shows. Literally like every concert I go to, they're like, okay, we're done, bye. But then they do like a really quick bye, and then you're like, okay, that's clearly not the proper goodbye. And then they like disappear, but then they don't turn off the lights. So I mean, they don't turn the lights back on. So you're like, oh, okay, they're probably still coming back on for their encore, and then all the fans cheer for encore until they come back and then do another show. So when they're like done, but they were just like waving goodbye, I'm like, me and my friend are like, we're just gonna go now. So we like shoved everybody, like got out of our seats, left, ran to the merch shop, and then we were able to make it to like the very front of the merch shop. Right at the end when everybody else started to leave, there's no way we would have been able to like make it to the front of the lines. But luckily, after the show was over, it was about like 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours, which I was kind of sad about because I loved every minute of it. And I was hoping that there would be an intermission. Like the last concert I went to, there's always intermissions. So this one, like this Blackpink concert, the whole thing, it was just like nonstop. There was like entertainment. So I was like, I loved it, but then I was kind of like, oh, I wish they would stop for like 2 seconds so I could go to the merch shop or like, I don't know, get more snacks or something. But it's fine because like when it was over, me and my friend ran to like the front of the merch shop, and was able to buy our merch before everybody else. And by the time like we finished buying, I walked out and there was like another 2 mile long lineup. So very, very glad. Hi there, Bardistas. We are, I don't think, in the same time zone. I don't think I'm ever in the same time zone as you, though. But I like to go and visit the UK soon. Yeah, so it was overall fantastic. I just kind of wish it was longer, but it was absolutely beautiful. For those of you guys that are Blackpink fans, they each did their own little solo. So like Jisoo, Jennie, Lisa, Rose, they each did their own solo music on stage. And then they obviously, everything else, they were doing it together. They played like nearly all of my favorite songs, not every single one of them. I wish I played like a sad song, like a slow song, like the one that I like, Happiest Girl or Happiest Girl in the World, but they didn't play that one, unfortunately. But I guess not everybody likes sad songs. But overall, it was absolutely beautiful. Like the visuals were great. I definitely think that like compared to let's say like the Taylor Swift concert I went to for 1989, I don't know if this is just like because this is my first Korean concert I've ever gone to. So for anybody that constantly goes to Korean concerts, let me know down in the comment section below if this is just a Korean thing that I don't know about. But I felt like the stage work was a little bit low budget. Like in comparison, and my friend went to like a Lady Gaga concert and she told me like Lady Gaga was like up in the air, like she was dancing around in the air. And I went to like even a Pink concert in LA. She was like, you know, strapped up in the air, dancing around. There were like all these crazy theatrical stuff that clearly you need to pay money for. So there was like none of that for the Blackpink concert. Maybe it's just like not their style. Like maybe it's a culture thing, or maybe it's just harder to move around and do a world tour and carry all that stuff. But yeah, I definitely did feel like there was less money spent on the budget of the Blackpink concert versus like a Taylor Swift concert, or in my friend's opinion, like a Lady Gaga concert, where like tons more dancers, a lot more like visual spectacles. Like there was still stuff to look at, don't get me wrong. Like I still saw like the fireworks, I still saw like some fire shooting up and steam and whatnot, like for the Blackpink concert. But in terms of like things they could have put on the stage, I definitely wish that there was more. But it's still perfect because I love the music and I love them. So I'm so glad that I was able to go there. Okay, guys. I'm gonna, before I blabber off more, I do have to go soon, but I will chat with you guys on what's going on. Some things that I saved in my phone that I thought was interesting lately. Interesting, but nothing to do with stocks and crypto interesting. Best gig you've ever been to, Bardista says? It's hard. That's really hard because I like a very, very wide variety of music. So I've gone to like Korean concert now, Chinese concert. I've been to obviously American concerts. I've even listened to French music concerts. So I feel like, and then like different eras too, like Celine Dion concert, Britney Spears, Taylor Swift. I can't really say which one was my favorite, but two of my favorite artists out of all of these people, or actually three, I guess, would be Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, Blackpink. And I think out of all of them, those three concerts specifically, I want to say Britney Spears is actually one of the best concerts I went to. Like maybe because I always wanted to see her. And when I saw her in Vegas, it was definitely like I was just so star stunned, I guess. So Britney Spears was one of the best, but then the Taylor Swift concert was like one of the most emotional ones, just because I think it was like a certain time in my life where she was singing all these songs, and I just felt like I connected with it on like a relationship level, like just like thinking about my own life and love at the time, my love life. So it was just like a deeper connection with like the Taylor Swift concert, 1989. So I would say between Taylor Swift and Britney Spears are my favorite concert thus far, but there's still so many artists I want to go see. I would like to think that I'm going to go to an Adele concert sometime in my life, but I heard hers are very expensive, so I'm not sure if I can afford it. Ed Sheeran, I do want to go to. The next Taylor Swift concert, I'm so there. I hope she does it in LA, which I feel like she probably will. Because I'm obsessed, like absolutely obsessed with the Midnight's album. I cannot stop listening to it. Hold on. Let me see what else going on. Hi there, Absolute Chat. What are your thoughts on FTX and Binance? So I'm still deciding what I want to do with that, but I will definitely let my channel on the main on Living with Luci know. Posting on Patreon and on my Living with Luci channel members community. If I do decide to move my crypto off of FTX. So I'm still deciding, but if I do it, I will update obviously my members first on all my platforms, well, Living with Luci, and then the Patreon, and then I'll eventually make live streams about it. So you guys will hear from me if I do any crazy moves like that, but I have been very happy with FTX US and being able to get 5 to 8% APY back. Really, I've been getting 5%, 5.1% for the last couple of months or half a year, to be honest. All right. Okay. What are some interesting things going on? Oh, yeah. This I thought was really whack. I don't even know how true this is, so do your own DD. But I saw this on Wall Street Bets. Tyson Foods CFO John Tyson arrested for entering stranger's house, passing out in her bed. And then this is posted by the New York Post. There's also Beyond Meat COO accused of biting man's nose outside Arkansas football stadium. And it's captioned bear market things. So like, so wild. It's like, I need more context behind this. I don't know if this is because the markets are bad and people are just wilding out there, but it almost looks like it's not even real. Is this end of retail crypto? I don't know, to be honest. Would it be so bad if we don't have retail crypto anymore, though? I mean, it'd be really bad for the billionaires in crypto that own the exchanges, but I don't think it really matters to us. I feel like for regular folks, as long as crypto continues to grow every 4 years or on the cycle and we get a bull run, basically, I feel like Russia and Ukraine needs to make peace, make love, not war, and probably we'll have to wait for the next presidential election before any bull runs happen. And China-US relations hopefully get a little bit better, and the Chinese economy, I feel like, affects all. So once all of those things are no longer such bummers, maybe that's when crypto will climb again. And when it happens, to me, it couldn't matter less if retail crypto exchanges and all that fails and doesn't work anymore. But to be honest, I like it. I always enjoyed having my free gains in crypto. And I think the reward system is always going to be around. It might just be different. It might look a little different. It may not be like 5 to 8% APY anymore, but I always expect that to be around, because how else are you going to convince people to come onto your platform specifically, right? Unless you're offering them like free Netflix streaming services, or you gotta offer people something in order to like put their money with you. Which is kind of stupid if you think about it, because banks don't offer me anything. except for free transactions if you put a certain amount of money with their bank. It's like you're taking my money anyways. Oh yeah, I thought that this was interesting. I always knew that, like, okay, so I want to share this with you guys. I thought this was pretty gross, but also very important. I have this friend that works in, like, I guess a lab, that told me like a few years back, which I never heard about. So let me know if you've heard about this. But I didn't know that when you have a toothbrush in the bathroom, like if you just have your toothbrush sitting in the bathroom for like a couple months and you never rinse your toothbrush, let's say it's just like a toothbrush and you just leave it there, that it can like collect feces, like literally poop particles on it because it's in the bathroom. And like when I heard this, it like deeply disturbed me. So that obviously I'm not just gonna have an open toothbrush and like leave it in a cup and never use it. But now like I always rinse it even more than usual, I feel like, for any toothbrushes or anything exposed. But I'm glad that the Washington Post posted about cleaning things and germs recently. It says toothbrush holder, because it tends to be close to the toilet, it's often in blast radius of the fecal bacteria that aerosolizes whenever you flush. So that I guess I didn't really focus on. I didn't think that I guess it is the flush. It is the movement, the action of flushing the actual poop and the toilet, the water, and then like maybe the feces particles like flows up. I just kept thinking that it's because it's in a room where like, feces are, that's why the air, like the particles would eventually like get on your toothbrush and like anything that's there consistently. But I guess when you flush, that's like when it really moves. Closing the lid when you flush is important, which makes me wonder, like at public restrooms, a lot of them just always open lid anyways. So I guess that's when you have the particles everywhere. Hi there, GB Love. Yeah, I heard that a few months back and hotly burnt everything in my toilet. Oh my God. No, I heard about it for a few years, but I didn't think of it as like this is what happens when you flush. I was thinking like it's what happens either way because of the smell and like the stuff that comes from the solid parts, even when it goes into the water. Disposal flange, to clean your garbage disposals, black rubber, drain, flange, wear gloves, flip up the flange, and scrub off slime with grease cutting dish soap or other cleaning solutions. That I already do without like thinking too much about it, because I do find that garbage disposals or like anywhere with a sink is really grimy and dirty, but I do know a lot of people that don't. This one I do want to ask you guys. It says sponges and dish towels. A sponge can support mold and yeast. So to me, it was just like bacteria anyway. So I would not be using like a sponge for like a year. Obviously, I throw it out because it just gets mushy. It says it can have all types of grime. Toss a sponge after a week and grab a new towel after each use. So like hand drying towels, I try not to use. I usually use like paper towels, so it's kind of wasteful, but I use it. I toss the paper towel anyways. But if I do in my kitchen have a hand towel, and I do pretty much wash it, like it changes every week. Sometimes if it gets extra wet and the weather's kind of like damp anyways, I'll like maybe wash it like every 3-4 days. But the sponge, I don't actually throw it out every week. Like, is that what rich people do? Because I don't throw out my sponge every week, and I do not know a single household like the yellow, that brand with the yellow sponge and then the green thing on the bottom that you scrub. I've never known anybody that told me they threw it out every week, because I would be going through a lot of sponges if I did that. But I usually just like throw it out whenever it gets kind of like old looking and like soft. So maybe like a month, two. I've used it for like 2 months plus before, that's for sure. So I definitely don't throw it like out every week. If you throw it out every week, let me know, because I definitely don't follow this rule. So I thought that was a little bit excessive. Coffee reservoir. I sent this to my brother who really drinks coffee all the time. It says your coffee maker's reservoir is a front runner for high yeast and mold contamination. For a monthly cleaning, mix a ratio of 1 part water to 1 part distilled white vinegar. I've never done that for my coffee machine, so I don't know if you can do that for all coffee machines or only like the ones where you just buy like the coffee grind yourself? Knobs and buttons on kitchen appliances, I do clean that constantly. Pet bowls, don't got a pet, so that's not a problem. Purses, keys, I always clean anyways. Oops, guys, gotta go. Let me just read a couple comments. You'd be like, welcome. BRB is burning my kitchen down. Here are the new ones. Yes, peace out. Peace out would be cool. Florida is proper Florida man levels of news story. Financial sector guys are always breaking under the stress. I don't know if they're breaking under the stress necessarily, or this is just the way it goes right now, midterm elections, and everyone's freaking out. But yeah, I'm probably just going to avoid looking at every single one of my wallets and accounts and just understand that today is probably one of the worst days in crypto that was expected because of midterms, and midterm is more red day than green day in my opinion, and from what I've heard, not financial advice, your own DD, entertainment purposes only. So yeah, I'm hoping that the prophecy is right and things will look a lot better from here on out after the day is done and all the votes are in. Get ready to buy day. I'm not sure if tomorrow is necessarily going to be the most bullish day. We'll see, but I have my hopes. I would love to also know what you guys are watching right now. If you're watching anything good on Netflix, I see so many like new shows or like old shows that are now on Netflix. The Office is on there right now. I don't have time to watch The Office because there's too many other shows I haven't watched yet. And like movies, like Black Adam, I still didn't see. I kind of want to watch that George Clooney and Julia Roberts movie where I think it's about divorcees getting back together because of their child who's getting married or something like that. So I kind of want to watch that. There's definitely a lot of scary movies that I have not seen yet that I need to watch, and a whole bunch of new Netflix stuff. But right now I'm on like season 5, I'm pretty sure, for like Grey's Anatomy, and I just can't stop. I'm like so addicted to like hospital stuff, but I still don't know much. I still don't know much about like any of the procedures. I just feel like when I'm watching it, like I like to think that I'm getting smarter with the data that they portray, which a lot of them I think is talking about real life events that happen, but they like tweak it a bit because they can't talk too much, I think, medical terms. So then people would like, I guess, question the writing and the entire work of it, but it's still supposed to be fictional, so it doesn't matter. But I heard that they portray a lot of real life situations or things that have actually happened and is on the news. I watch a UK In-Betweeners. I don't know what that is. Bye, Shayla. Take care. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this live stream. Again, to support the channel, if you enjoy my videos, short and long, please make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Ring that lovely notification bell for me. Smash the like button on your way out, and I hope to see you guys soon.